Hi, this is Julianne and welcome back to Life Edit and Design. Today we are talking a little bit about the Halloween Wellness Challenge. So you can find that in the shop. This is my iPad, the Halloween Wellness Challenge, and there is a video that goes step by step through all the pages in the planner, but I wanted to talk to you about my personal experience with it so that you had a little bit of background with it. So again, you can go to the blog, or you can go to my YouTube channel and you can find the step-by-step walkthrough of the actual pages. But if you saw my other video, I just did a video on how to celebrate the new Halloween, and I talked about how to do things with your kids that's going to be different this year and what to expect. So go check out that video if you have children. This video is for you as an adult. How are you going to celebrate Halloween this year? I talked about the fact that there probably won't be Halloween parties that you can go to. What you may have done in the past is not going to happen. And if as an adult, maybe you went with your grandchildren, you went with your nieces, nephews, maybe you went trick-or-treating with them, and you're probably not going to be able to do that this year because number one, there probably won't be a lot of trick-or-treating, but number two, they probably won't want to have a lot of people around them. So very different Halloween. So what are you going to do? So as an adult, I came up with this Halloween challenge actually a few years ago, and I've given it a little bit of rebranding for this year to be a Halloween Wellness Challenge. So let's not focus on eating candy and junk food. We don't need to do that. The holiday season's coming, and that's a big temptation as it is. And with the pandemic, you may have been home and you may have put on some more weight than you wanted to. So this is more about a wellness challenge. What can you do this Halloween that's fun, but it's still in the theme? You're still celebrating Halloween. So again, make sure you decorate your house early because the fall decorations are going to go fast. But I really want you to enjoy the season in a different way. So what's the wellness challenge? So again, you can go through the tutorial on YouTube, but I wanted to give you a little bit of different ideas. So this is the first part. It's called the Spooky Trick or Treat Challenge. And what is spooky? Spooky part is to get out of your comfort zone this year. So what can you do? Your mission is to come up with things that scare you, that push you. And I've done this, I did this last year, I had a lot of fun with it. I came up with a bunch of items. I didn't do all of them. I wanted to go for hot air balloon ride because that was kind of scary to me. It was like, ooh, I don't know if I can do it. But when we got there, the line was so long we couldn't even do it. And this year they've canceled the balloon festival, so I can't do it this year either. But come up with things that are pushing you outside of your comfort zone. And I have a couple personal ones, but one of the things that I'm pushing myself is, to get back into recording videos. It's something that I'm just not comfortable with. I don't like recording videos with myself on them. I don't mind recording my iPad, but recording myself is always a challenge. So that's one of my things. So hey, you're helping me right now by watching this. I'm pushing myself outside my comfort zone to get on Instagram TV and actually record videos and put them publicly on YouTube. So kind of fun getting myself out there. So that's one of my pushing myself out of outside of my comfort zone. Another one is to meet new people. I've kind of tended to, I had my work community for so long, and that was really all the people I talked to was my family or my coworkers. And my friends were my coworkers. And I'm about to retire, and I'm like, well, I really need to meet some new people because, my coworkers, there'll be a few that I'll stay in touch with, but a lot of the people that I've hung out with really won't be part of my life going forward. So I'm like, I need to meet new people, and that for me is scary. Like, how am I going to find them? What am I going to do? Are they going to be my people? And I also want to elevate myself. I want to, hang out with, they say that you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I'm like, well, if I want to be a bigger person and I want to have more challenges and more opportunities in my life, I really need to meet and hang out with people that are kind of 5 steps ahead of me so that I get to kind of push myself to get to their level. So that's a big challenge for me, and that's going to be one of those stepping outside my comfort zone. And then I have a few personal ones that I don't want to share here, but again, I have about 4 that I'm going to push for this year. So that is your first part of the Spooky Trick or Treat Challenge, is to scare yourself. Do things that scare you. Do things that push you outside your comfort zone. And when I did this last year, it was just so cool because you don't normally do that. You don't normally consciously focus on getting outside your comfort zone. We have a nice bubble and we stay in our bubble. And that's what I want you to do for October is like, it's the perfect month to do it. Let's kind of get outside my comfort zone. And you may have found that your bubble shrunk with the pandemic. Your world kind of shrunk. The things you were able to do got very limited. So pushing yourself outside your comfort zone, maybe you think about things in a whole new way. Maybe, you spend a lot of time walking, but maybe you need to step it up and go hiking and actually do more challenging courses or more challenging trails. Think about things like that still allow you to be safe, but again, you want to push yourself outside the comfort zone. What are some things you might have always wanted to do, but didn't ever jump and do? Maybe you wanted to create a networking group. I have a friend that's one of the things she's going to do is create a networking group that she's wanted one and she's been part of one for a while. but to step out and start out on her own and create her own networking group, it's a bit of a scare for her. So that's one of the things that she's going to do. So think about things that you can do, and that's part one of the challenge, is to scare yourself, to push yourself into doing something totally different. So the next part of the challenge is to trick yourself, right? It's a spooky trick or treat. So what's the trick part? The trick is to do things differently than you've normally done them. Kind of one of the good examples I use is drive to work a different way. How many different ways can you get to work? And that's one of the things I did last year was, how can I get to work differently? And I found a whole different way that I actually used all the time until March 19th when I got sent home. But that was kind of my new thing was, I like this way so much better. It may not be the fastest, but I get more interesting sights than driving along the highway, and it's just more relaxed. People aren't rushing. It was just a more enjoyable ride. So I wouldn't have found that if I hadn't done things differently. So the trick is to come up with ways of tricking yourself. Come up with doing things that are unexpected for you. And it could be simple, like, I'm left-handed, so I would brush my teeth with my left hand. Okay, brush your teeth with your right hand for the month. Or you'll get dressed in a certain fashion, or you have a certain morning routine. Mix up your morning routine. Trick yourself. Get out of your, again, there's a little bit of getting out of your comfort zone, but it's getting out of your routine a little bit and mixing things up, because you might find something brand new that you really like. So there's a page on this, doing things unexpectedly, doing things differently this month. And some of the unexpected things could be maybe that you start sending flowers to people, or you send, we talked about the boogram in the last episode, where you boo people, and it's unexpected. If you were to go around, and you can find out about this in the other video, and you can find out about it on my Etsy shop, but it's a way you go to people's houses and at night, and you kind of leave them a little message that says you've been booed, and they try to pass it on, kind of like a chain letter. It's fun for neighborhoods, it's really fun for kids, but maybe you do things unexpected, like you bake bread. I have a friend who through the pandemic would spend a day baking bread and then go deliver it to all her kids. So maybe you do something like that that's just unexpected, unusual kindness. Random acts of kindness is a fun thing that you can work into your trick. So it's just doing things that are unexpected or unusual for you, and give that some thought. And again, there's a sheet to brainstorm on. And then the last one is the treat, right? Spooky trick or treat. So you're scaring yourself, you're tricking yourself, and then you get to treat yourself, right? Got to have a little fun, because this is a wellness challenge. So be thinking, well, what kind of treats do I have? And I have a section where you have to come up with a couple of rules. So you can't, these aren't just random treats. These are the treats that you have to earn in some way, or they have some kind of rule. So one of my rules for this year is it must bring lasting joy. It can't just be fleeting. So going out and having ice cream, that's fleeting. Eating a piece of candy, it's fleeting. It only gives me joy for a few seconds, and then a lot of other guilt for hours. So that would qualify as a treat for me. The treat has to be lasting. The other thing is, in order to get my treat, I have to do something in my scary, spooky list, pushing myself out of my comfort zone list. So I can't treat myself till I've accomplished something on that list. So one of the treats that I have, I'm really into decorating my space right now, again, because I'm spending a lot more time here. And so I really want to redecorate the living room, and I have a budget, but I can't actually do that. I can't start to order the things that I want to get for that until I do something off of my comfort zone list. And another thing, I really want to get a new shower curtain. I want something that's more in theme with this room that I've created. So I have a master bath, and I want my shower curtain to match. Well, can't get that until I do something else on my list. So that's the idea, is you set some rules. It has to be lasting joy. So decorating my living room is going to last me every time I walk into the living room, and same with the shower curtain. Those things are going to last. So I'm going to spend a few bucks, and I'm not going to spend a lot, but it will last me a long time. Last year, my rule was that I couldn't spend money on my treats. So it was like, what are the things I could do? I can light some candles. I already had the candles. I can use some different scents. I can go for a walk at night. We actually went walking through the apple orchard. Didn't cost us anything, but it was just a nice treat to be out and smell the apples and just be out indoors in nature. So that was a nice treat. So those are different things that you can do, setting up your rules. So whether you can spend money or you can't spend money, whether it can involve food or can't involve food, whatever those rules are, but you want to treat yourself. So again, this is a wellness challenge so that you enjoy the whole season. So you have the whole month of October, and there's a calendar in here. You have an October calendar that will show you, so you can kind of plan out some of your activities. Maybe you plan out, some of the, okay, I'm gonna get in my comfort zone on this day, this weekend, we're gonna do this activity, which will push me outside of my comfort zone, or I'm gonna have this conversation with somebody that I've been putting off for the longest time, and I'm gonna do it on FaceTime on Tuesday, whatever. And then you can kind of work in your treats, and then you can kind of journal. There's a notes page and you can kind of journal all the things that you're doing, unexpected, different things like that. You can be putting into your journal pages. And again, it's just to get you thinking, again, Halloween's gonna be very different this year. We're all facing with new ways of celebrating the holidays. So I'll be doing other videos on other holidays and how to celebrate them. But this is for you, as you know, a lot of people are burned out. You've worked really hard. You've had to adjust so many things through this pandemic. Your whole lifestyle has really been kind of uprooted and rearranged. And for some people that's been for the better, and for other people it hasn't been. But everybody's kind of feeling this. You know, you need this little bit of break. So this is a fun way to feel like you're in control again. So you may be pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, but it's by your choice. It's not that somebody thrust you into a whole different work environment. You get to choose what are some of the things that you want to do for yourself to push yourself out of the comfort zone, things that you want to do unexpected. Everything about your day has been changed. But was it your control? Not really. So this gives you a chance to take back your control. I'm going to do things differently, but the things that I'm choosing to do differently. And then again, the treating yourself, because we probably haven't been treating yourselves too much, just because you've been so limited in what you can do. So come up with some rules that suit you, that fit you, and then come up with those treats and how do you earn those treats. So that's the spooky trick or treat challenge.